Yo, what is going on, you Magenta Magikarps? Coming at you with a little bit of a shorter video today. Gonna be a little bit of an update video slash deck profile video on the Malamar list I did use to win a League Cup this weekend. So the content's been coming out a little bit slower. And it's gonna be that way for like the next week or so. I got Knoxville Regionals coming up this weekend, which is gonna mean I gotta do some traveling. So yeah, content coming out on the YouTube channel is gonna be a little bit slower than it has been in the past month or so, but once I get back from Knoxville, I'm gonna try and return to my regular daily upload schedule. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into this list that I did use to win a League Cup over the weekend, and talk about some of the cards I did and didn't play that are like a little bit different than you know, the standard Malamar build, I guess. First thing is the Latios-GX. I mean, this one isn't too big. A lot of people have been playing this one. Some people don't. Some people have been. It wasn't. I don't think I saw it in many of the lists that did recently well at Atlantic City and the Cologne regionals. But I'm a huge fan of this card. It's very good against Mew box. It's very good against Guardian. The Guardian matchup is still tough, even if you do play this Latios. But it definitely gives you a win condition, I feel like, or just making it more awkward for your opponent to just kind of sit back and just execute their game plan very casually as the Guardian player. So big fan of Latios overall. Really good against Mewtwo. It's good against Green Zard. Also good against, like I said, Guardian. It can be good against Guardian as well. The Clear Vision is really nice against Mewtwo. Pretty good against Guardian. Yeah, just kind of a good card overall. I'm a big fan of this card in general in this deck right now. I think it works out a lot for a lot of the matchups, and I would definitely keep running it for sure from here. Next up, we do have the two Mew. This isn't too ridiculous of an inclusion anymore either. A lot of people are running this as of right now. It's good in a ton of matchups. Very good against Pikarom when they chase your first Mew. If they don't know you play two Mew and they go to chase your first Mew so that they can tag ball on the following turn and take two prizes in a turn, they're always a little frustrated when you put down the second Mew. It is becoming a little bit of a norm right now, the two Mew, but still very good despite people knowing that it is most likely going to be played in your deck. In the mirror match, he becomes actually one of your main attackers, so you don't have to trigger your opponent's spell tags. And you can just sit there and use Psi Power while you build up the Cross Division GX in the mirror match. With the double Mew, you just go attack with Mew, with a spell tag, put some damage in play, they knock it out, you get your spell tag damage, you go attack with Mew, put some damage in play, they knock you out, get your spell tag damage in play. While you're doing all this, you're just building up for the 6 energy Cross Division to just close out the game. So yeah, super good in the mirror match as well, the double Mew. Good against Mewtwo box as well, because they like to use Naganadel. So they'll go out of their way to try and KO Mew, so that they can then use the Naganadel's GX snipe attack to KO stuff to get around spell tags, so they don't have to attack into spell tags and trigger those. So second Mew, also great for preventing the Naganadel sniping on your bench. He's just really great. Second Mew is really great right now. I would definitely recommend adding that to your Malamar deck. From here on out for a little while, at least. We'll see how the meta evolves, but I think until the next set comes out, the popular decks are going to stay the popular decks, which means 2 Mew is just pretty good. The one Pokemon I chose not to play is the Mimikyu with the copycat attack. The reason I didn't play him because it's only really it can be good in like every matchup theoretically if you just need a Pokemon that can attack for 2 energy on the turn, because sometimes Giratina, you just don't have enough Malamars in play to get the Giratina out, or your opponent like went after an Inkay, or the Giratina itself had while it had an energy, and you're just not able to attack with Shadow Impact on that turn. So that is where the Mimikyu can consistently be nice in pretty much every matchup, but I don't think it comes up that frequently. And the only matchup where you really want Mimikyu all the time is the what's it called matchup. The only matchup is the Green Zard matchup. Is the only matchup where you really always want Mimikyu, and that deck's not super popular right now. Definitely, like, if locally Green Zard is a popular deck, I would say throw the Mimikyu back in to the Malamar deck for sure. Definitely very good against Green Zard. So if Green Zard is one of the decks you're trying to beat, you want to play the Mimikyu for sure. Between Mimikyu and Tag Purge with the Latios, I think that matchup actually becomes almost favored. Because they have to use their GX so that the Mimikyu doesn't one-shot them, or like they have to use their GX attack, and so that when they KO something with a spell tag, that the Mimikyu can't Flare Strike knock them out. So that means they don't have the GX attack for the tag purge usually, and then once they use their GX attack to avoid the Mimikyu getting a knockout on them, you can just go up and tag purge. So yeah, pretty good in the Green Zard matchup. So if that's one of the decks you're trying to beat, definitely run the Mimikyu. The next card that I play that is not quite in every list is the Power Plant, and I play this just for the Mewtwo matchup really. It's like situationally good against like Pikarom. It's kind of like a fourth stadium is actually just kind of nice for the Pikarom matchup because they are generally running Lysander Labs. And actually the Pikarom I played against in the finals was running 3 Lysander Labs, so the addition of the fourth stadium was super helpful there to keep the Lysander Labs out of play. But really it is here for the Mewtwo matchup. You just want to be able to get a one-shot on a Mewtwo at some point and get through that Jirachi's ability, and get access to their weakness, and knock them out with the Shadow Impact. So yeah, that's really where the Power Plant is a great addition to this deck, and I think I would definitely keep this thing around as well. The Mewtwo matchup, I think, is pretty tough without something like the Power Plant. I mean, the Latios helps, the Power Plant helps. So you need something to help keep up with Mewtwo, because usually they can pretty consistently get ahead, and then it's gonna be tough for you to come back. So yeah, like the Power Plant, for sure. Another card I don't have in here is the Adventure Bag, which I definitely did miss. I missed the extra out to the spell tags, and it's like a pseudo third escape board. Like, it's kind of like a third escape board, not actually a third escape board, but as long as you have an escape board in your deck, which you will early on, and because you don't need multiple escape board throughout the game really, the Adventure Bag is basically another way to find the switch card for the Jirachi. So I did miss the Adventure Bag a little bit, but I don't think it overrules the other cards I included, the second Mew, the Power Plant, or the Latios at all. So I probably wouldn't re-add it to the deck, but I definitely did miss the Adventure Bag, that is for sure. And then the rest of the list is pretty standard, you know, the 3 Viridian Forest, 7 Psychic, 1 Recycle, 4 Tag, 2 Board, 4 Lillie, 4 Cynthia, just trying to remain as consistent as possible alongside the 4 Acro Bike. I think if you did ever want to cut a card from this list to just kind of add anything, you could cut the 4th Acro Bike. I think that would be the thing to go. That or the 4th Jirachi. It would be one of those two. You're trying to add just whatever you'd want to, if you want to put the Mimikyu in, if you want to add the Adventure Bag, whatever it might be. I think the Acro Bike or the 4th Jirachi, 4th Acro Bike or the 4th Jirachi could go. I don't know which one I would want to personally get rid of, but one of those I think could definitely go. Probably the Acro Bike, because Jirachi has better reach to a draw supporter on turn 1. Jirachi sees top 5, Acro Bike sees top 2. So yeah, I'd probably just go, because that's all you need to get going really. You need that first draw supporter as Malamar, and then you need some kind of Inkays, but if you can get that, you're usually cruising from there, and nothing really can stop you from there. And it's just kind of, if your opponent can keep up with the onslaught of the Shadow Impact and the tech cards that you have in the deck. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say on the list. Not going to be playing any games today, just kind of coming at you with a short video, deck profile / update video. Like I said, content's going to be a little bit slower over the next week or so, but then I'll be getting back to that regular daily upload after Knoxville Regionals. And yeah, that's my plan. Just want to come at you, update video, deck profile video with the League Cup win. Shout out to my sponsors, Dead Draw Gaming, deaddrawgaming.com. Use code Azul for 5% off over there for your codes and cards. And that's all I got. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.